Imagine that the TV or ATV is our body and our emotions. And imagine that the remote control is our mind. The remote control controls the channel on the TV, which again is our body and our emotions. But we control the remote control. The TV doesn't tell the remote control what channel to turn on, right? The remote control doesn't tell you what channel to turn on and what frequency to be on. They don't tell you, you tell it. And when you let your body, your emotions, your mind narrate and control and be in the driver's seat, that's essentially the same thing. The TV and the remote control are telling you what to do, and that's taking away your power. And so some channels we may go to make us laugh, make us happy, make us smile, make us think. Other channels we go to make us sad, make us angry and depressed. We have the power to change the channel, bring me back in alignment to source. The thing about being able to control the remote control, which controls the TV, is that not only do we have that ability, we are also the energy, the source that activates the TV. We are the energy that activates the battery in the remote control. And how we are able to do that is when we are plugged in to the source, the divine source, our divine self that is within us, that is an extension of the source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. That is the same energy that flows within us, the same energy that we can use to transmute negative emotions, negative feelings about ourselves or the world around us. We acknowledge those emotions, they're real, okay? We don't suffocate them or stifle or put them away or ignore them. I used to do that. I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. I acknowledge them. I sit in it if I need to, I don't just try to get over it. I try to process what those emotions mean, what's the underlying issues behind them. And if I don't deal with those emotions, then I'll start having bodily reactions, physical reactions, stress or, hair loss, or you see this scar right here? This is from stress. My thyroid was out of whack, and I grew this garter, it just like a lump, and I didn't know where it was coming from. It was a growth, and I had it removed, and the doctor said it was the size of a man's fist from the inside. Like, the part that I saw protruding was just a tip of the iceberg, and I was like, what? It freaked me out. But it grew within a year. That same year I had to have a hysterectomy, partial hysterectomy. I had both procedures within a couple of weeks of each other. That was stress. That was in 2019, I believe. And that's when I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? Now, what happens if every channel is sad, depressed, angry? That happens to me. It happens to most of us at some point in our lives. For me, I'll share with you what I do. I have to stay grounded, and I have to be self-aware and recognize that my frequency is off. And so the channel being the frequency, I want to stay at a higher frequency. I want to vibrate higher. So I don't want to be always sad, always depressed, always grieving. I have to look for ways that elevate my mood, make me, feel better, higher frequency. So for me, what that might look like is grounding, journaling, going out in nature, taking my shoes off and just squishing my toes around in the grass. So I'm a Virgo, and I love being out in nature, but I used to not love it. But now it refuels me. I reflect. This is one of my favorite spots right here underneath this big old cottonwood tree. I usually go and just sit and pray and meditate and just take in the nature, Mother Nature. It's just beautiful. Sometimes I just need to tear up some shit. Y'all see my guns? I went smashing pumpkins last weekend with my daughters and it felt good. Other times I do walking meditation. Hey y'all, it's the golden hour. I try to stay so I am laughing at how calm and chill I am in this video. I had just prayed and meditated, and that's the space it puts me in. So I have ADHD, so I'm always like, who is that? That's proof that it works. Aware of the fact that okay, not only do I have my hand on the remote control, but I have the plug to the source, and whenever I need to be recharged, I know I have tools that help ground me. And sometimes it's medication, sometimes it's therapy, or both. Okay? It could be prayer. It's prayer every day, all day, to be honest. I'm always talking to God. We're always in dialogue. But then I have my quiet time, meditation, praying, reflecting, just quieting my mind. It might be dancing, playing music, meditating, different things that calm my nervous system. And it works. The idea of the analogy of the TV, the remote control, those ideas come to me when I am connected to spirit. Those ideas come to me because I feel like they are easier to understand, at least for me, the analogy of it all. Quite a few things today. It's been really powerful. We have the super moon tomorrow, and I don't know about y'all, but it's just been really interesting. There's some really interesting experiences here. And I made a note about looking for the joy in others. And I struggle with this sometimes because I'm often focused on my own joy. And I'm learning how to give myself grace, but I want to also be more intentional about finding the joy in others, the joy that other people bring outwardly to me, to the world. And I think once we start looking for the joy in others rather than looking for the issues with others, the same shift happens as if we were looking for joy in our own lives. Okay. But also it's important that we recognize the balance, looking for the light, trying to stay in the light. The darkness amplifies and exalts the light. The darkness that allows the light to shine even more brighter. The light cannot be fully appreciated without being on the backdrop of darkness. And so that resonates with me because I've been in some very, very dark times over the past 5 years and even before then. But when I think about those times, I'm joyful. I'm grateful because I'm not in that space. But I can compare myself to where I was and how I felt. And it just makes me even more grateful for having overcome them. But it also puts me in a space of being empowered to stay in this space as well, because I know what the opposite is. And so I just want to share that with you guys. If this resonates with you, let me know. What are your thoughts? And besitos. And are you taking good care of yourself? Are you? Because if you're not, don't make me come through this phone, because I will. Besitos, guys. Love y'all.